This parking lot on Baker Street in Guelph may look ordinary on the surface.
But if you were to dig beneath the asphalt, you might find something shocking. I don't like the sounds of that.
I wonder what it is.
The ghosts of the Baker Street parking lot are thought to come from the graveyard that used to be right here before the parking lot was built over top of it. While the ghost legends are few and far between, there does seem to be a common thread of passersby seeing a woman cloaked in white following them at a distance until they leave the area around the lot.
I've heard that someone saw like a ghostly figure, like a woman, almost like in that period kind of piece, like dressed in the 1800s sort of.
The city moved the bodies from Union Cemetery, which is now the Baker Street parking lot, to Woodlawn over the years, accompanied by a full funeral service with a procession from the color guard out of respect for the disruption of the people's previous burial.
So it's just like your everyday average parking lot, but just knowing that there's bodies that are probably like here, that doesn't really bode well. Definitely wouldn't want to stick around too long. You never know what might come up and grab you.
Okay, so we're here in the Baker Street parking lot, just in this little corridor area. It's very windy. It looks like a normal parking lot, but since we know there's a cemetery beneath here, you can kind of see it, like the outline of where the cemetery might be, because it's a really big parking lot. And there's like some churches over there, and I just noticed, and I was saying to Johan, like there's this huge cathedral like overlooking the parking lot between these two buildings. And it looks super, super creepy and really cool.
Now knowing that this used to look more like this, makes you wonder, why was it so difficult to move out the bodies? Paul Taylor is the director at Woodlawn Memorial Park, and he had some answers for us.
I think part of it would have to be something to do with the technology. We have far better technology today. I think it was Dr. Dana Polton was the one that did the last excavation of the Baker Street parking lot, and he was able to use some methods that actually found that it was easier to find the remains.
Some of the bodies that were buried here before the cemetery was turned into a parking lot weren't found in the original conversion. Back in 2005, when construction workers were fixing a sinkhole near the lot, they found a human skeleton left over from the old cemetery that had been there for over 130 years. We told our interviewees about the most recent discovery of a body in the parking lot in 2010 and asked them for their thoughts.
Yeah, it's a lot more recent than I would have hoped, but...
Oh, God, so they just keep finding more, that's good.
I was called up one afternoon, I think it was in the morning one day, and they said, Paul, we think we found some remains down here. Could you pop down and just take a look? What should we do? And so I popped down, and there are human remains, all right. And so we got the ministry involved.
It is unknown if there are any human remains left behind underground, but only time will tell what decides to come up. The history beneath the Baker Street parking lot is not very well known.
But once you learn the truth, you'll never look at it the same way again. Join us next week at another haunted location.